I created Buffalo Golf and Social for one reason: to create a space that's different and unique from any other golf facility you've ever been to. It's a place to learn, and it's a place to enjoy. You ready? People ask, what is Buffalo Golf and Social? Buffalo Golf and Social is anything you want it to be. It can be the best instruction. It can be a vibe. It can be a hangout with your friends, running a simulator for 4 hours, playing your own playlist, and putting a game up on the TV. We are about everything and anything pertaining to golf. And most importantly, we are trying to build a community of players and a community of people who love and are dedicated to the game. I created Buffalo Golf and Social for one reason: to create a space that's different and unique from any other golf facility you've ever been to. It's a place to learn, and it's a place to enjoy. You ready?
Welcome back to First Arena in Elmira as we are set for second period play. It is Quinnipiac and Niagara getting ready for period number 2. After 20 minutes of play, it is the Niagara Purple Eagles with the 1-0 lead. Thank you for joining us here on the Nickel City Hockey Network as we bring you live coverage of the Invitational at Elmira all weekend long. My name is Aaron Elper, and happy to be along for the call of this game alongside color commentator Sean McHugh. And Sean, it was certainly a strong period from a Niagara perspective. They are, however, going to have to kill off a little bit of a penalty here as we start period number 2.
Yes, they have a minute and 40. They have 1% less of a full power play here from Quinnipiac to withstand after a tough penalty at the end of the period. Niagara played a strong period, so they got some work to do, and then they're going to look to get back on track here.
Still a minute 38 remaining on this power play for Quinnipiac. That's Noyes on the far side. Gets it down low, and now an opportunity to get it back to Noyes. He might look to take that shot from over there, let that hard snapshot go, but missed the net. It ended up hitting the back glass and coming all the way back through the neutral zone, and Umbro's going to have to go back to start the breakout again. Noyes moving it through the neutral zone off the skate of Cielo, but he still manages to get it into the offensive zone. Puck comes to the netminder Randall. He throws the glove over top of that one, and we have a stoppage in play. 40 seconds into the period, still a minute 9 remaining on this man advantage.
Yeah, not a whole lot's happening, minus a little bit of a neutral zone back and forth here right now, and both teams are making a change here as Niagara is going to send out Ethan Knopf, Stumpo, Train, and it appears to be, that's number 13, Scanlon. And Quinnipiac is going to counter with another one of their number 2 power play unit, and Train is going to rip it out, but is a good keep in there by Quinnipiac.
Yeah, Considine keeping it in there at the point, making sure it doesn't get out of the zone. Considine has it again there at the left point. His shot hits a stick on its way through, an opportunity in front of the net, as that was a good chance in tight. Unable to get that one past the netminder, though, was Jonathan Parker. One-on-one battle there on the far side as Scanlon tries to dig that puck free, gets it along to Ethan Knopf, unable to get it past the left point there of Considine.
Oh, yeah,
as
they
we have
got
a big hit there from behind, as it was Ethan Knopf taking that check right in the back, right into that far boards. Referee quickly saw that play happen, and he called that check from behind immediately. So we're going to be 4-on-4 now for the next 38 seconds.
Yep, and Nick Emmons, they called the play earlier that started this power play on Aiden Wojciechowski. So, yeah, they're going to call that because that was even harder. That was really can't miss that if you're an official. So we're going to play 4-on-4 for about 38 seconds. Then Niagara is going to head to the power play.
A little bit more than a minute into the action here for period number 2. Niagara with the 1-0 lead after scoring in the first period. And now we're going to play 4-on-4, as Sean mentioned, for another 38 seconds. See what these two sides are able to do with a little bit more open ice out there. This is Damon Thierra taking the draw for Niagara, squaring off against Glass. Glass ends up winning that draw, but it comes right back to Brady Kanoff. His shot just barely missing the net high and wide. Battle for a loose puck along the near wall. Comes out towards the middle of the ice, and now back to Brady Kanoff. He makes sure it gets down low. Picking it up down low there is Louis Chabot. Unable to find a man there with the pass up the near boards. Now it's Alex Umbro moving up ice for Quinnipiac. Gets it in across the blue line. Barely staying onside there was Jacob Noyes. 10 seconds left in 4-on-4 play as Cook picks it up here in the near corner. His pass a little bit too far for its intended target. It comes right to Alex Umbro. Looks to counter, and he gets that one to Glass, who comes into the offensive zone with a little bit of pace. Drop pass there to Noyes, but 3 players in close proximity making sure there was no good chance there. Noyes almost was able to catch a pass there in front of the net, as now some numbers here for Niagara with the power play. Pass comes in front, but a great hustle play. Number 19, Zach Glass there making sure he got back defensively, got the stick into that passing lane, and kept that play from materializing. It was a 2-on-1 until Glass got himself back in the play.
If that pass gets to its intended target, that's in the net. That was a beautiful play. Glass extending the entirety of his frame to get the blade of his stick on that to knock it down. Great play there by the Quinnipiac defenseman.
Niagara winning the face-off as they still have 1:05 left on their power play. Connecting on a pass. Thomason cross-ice to Cook. One-time shot just barely missing wide, but it comes off the backboard. Scanlon almost with an opportunity to sneak it back in on the netminder before he got back across. Puck is cleared by Quinnipiac, and they have 47 seconds now remaining in their penalty kill. As now it's an opportunity for Cook to move it up the left side of his net. Plenty of room up this left side. However, Cam Moore unable to handle that pass, and it's sent right back into the Niagara end. 30 seconds now remaining here on this power play, as it's Cook picking up the puck in his own zone, circling along the blue line, now through the neutral zone. He finds a little bit of room on that far side after he gets clear of a teammate, loses control of it late there in that offensive push, and that gives Quinnipiac the chance to clear it. Now just 15 seconds left on this power play as Thomason goes back for it with some pressure on.
Oh, he got rid of that fat. Wow, look at him go. Look at the legs on this guy.
Jake Thomason up that far side, trying to go coast to coast, feeds a pass in front, just a little bit out of the reach of Moore. He had a little bit of room to let that shot go if it would have been on the tape. Moore now gets a chance to let that shot go from the far dot. Good save made on the play by Campersall as he was tested here for the first time in the second period. Bouncing puck picked up in the corner, played along to number 14 there on the play is Kevin Euler. Now it comes back to the point. Abbott unable to keep it in. He retreats back into the neutral zone before dumping it right back into the offensive end. Campersall setting it up there for his defenseman. Niagara making a change, so plenty of room to move that puck up ice. But Niagara doing a good job of converging in the neutral zone. Riddle creating that turnover and sending it into the offensive zone as we have 16:10 now remaining here in the second period. Puck in the near corner up against the glass as Niagara finds possession of it there. Trying to make sure it moves along and keeping it in the zone, but it's going to be Quinnipiac getting that one up ice. And now this is Russo up the far side, but he fans on that shot attempt. Noyes, though, picking him up, offering some support. Now gets that pass out in front. Good play there as Russo stuck with it after fanning on the shot. Noyes set him up again for another opportunity. Got that one in on goal, and a nice save by Ben Randall. This one stays a 1-0 game.
And again, Quinnipiac looking to tilt the ice back into the Niagara end. And you did a really nice job on that power play, cycling and getting some chances here. Goaltending and defense doing a great job for Quinnipiac, and now they're looking to get some zone time to get this game tied here.
Just under 16 minutes to go here in the second period as P.J. Abbott has plenty of room to skate this one through the neutral zone. Gains the Quinnipiac blue line. Backhand pass through the slot, just barely out of the reach of Cristaldi, and that one was eventually played off to the corner by the netminder Campersall. Opportunity for a quick counterplay here for Niagara. Riddle with a lot of speed into the offensive zone. Really nice defense, though, is cutting off that angle, and reading that play perfectly was DiTullio, as that looked like it was going to be enough speed into the offensive zone to really create something for Riddle and Niagara.
Yeah, that was really good defense by Quinnipiac, because if Riddle gets through that first blockade, he's in alone with a head of steam. Quinnipiac doing a really good job on the puck with great sticks there to prevent that rush, because Riddle was at full speed right there, and that's danger if he gets through the defensemen who weren't flat-footed, but would not have been able to backpedal and keep up with him at that level.
Niagara wins another face-off as they try to move it up ice. Pass is intercepted, though. Now Quinnipiac looking to counter. Getting it across the blue line and carrying it into the offensive zone is Considine, but two different Niagara players right on him just as he got into the offensive zone, and that gives Euler a chance to carry it up ice. Euler cuts in towards the slot, gets wide on the defense, on the netminder. What a pretty goal for Kevin Euler as he managed to get himself enough room and used his patience to wait out the netminder Campersall. And the former Columbus Maverick has the goal to give his team a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Euler, great job going one-on-one with the defenseman, getting him on his hip, on his backhand, getting around the defenseman, shaking off the last-second grab, gets in alone on the goaltender, gets the goaltender Campersall down in his butterfly, gets around him and slides it as he sprawled out, and NU gets a 2-0 lead 5 minutes into the second period. Now Quinnipiac's got to move now, because if NU gets rolling, this will be an avalanche before it's said and done.
So it's a 2-0 lead with a little bit more than 5 minutes gone in the second period. Quinnipiac looking for an answer. Pass is fed out in front, but nobody there to accept it. Coming back in the opposite direction now, this is going to be Schottmer. Puck in behind the net. Kroll picking it up there, gets it back to the point. Blake Train has some pressure on him there. He just avoids it by getting that pass down low. Now an opportunity in front of the net as going between the legs and trying to get that shot through is Scanlon. Just barely missed getting that one on net. Great hand-eye coordination just to get that shot away. Kevin Keane in the opposite direction for the Bobcats. His pass doesn't connect, though. Nice defense by Stumpo to make sure that one didn't get in front of the net. And now Niagara with some speed and numbers here in the neutral zone. Drop pass just inside the blue line. Cross-ice a pass attempt there. There was a man open, but a good quick stick by the Quinnipiac defender made sure that one didn't get across. A little bit of physicality on the far side, and Quinnipiac comes out of the pile with the puck. Banked off the boards, and out comes to Stumpo. He quickly sends it right back into the Niagara offensive zone. No icing on this play, as going back to pick it up is Jonathan Parker. Parker into the neutral zone. His pass goes off the stick of Umbro, but it was just short of the center ice red line, so this one's going to count as an icing. 13:48 now remains in the second period. Niagara with their second goal of the game, making it the 2-0 lead, as it was Kevin Euler with the pretty individual effort in front of the net.
Yep, and Quinnipiac again icing the puck. That was a really good-looking play right there. Just an inch too far on the breakout there, an unfortunate icing right there. Quinnipiac trying to use their speed to, generate some offense to get back into this game, but, they're just missing on these breakout passes. Right there.
There's another example. It was just a half of a step behind him, and now it's an opportunity in transition. Oh, that pass was there to the far side to Moore. Just a little bit too far ahead of him for him to get that shot away. Puck hits a skate in front of the net, almost bounced right to Zach Briggs as he was tracking through the front of the net. Shot from the point by Brady Knopf. That one goes off the pad of the netminder Campersall. There was a rebound there for just a moment. Campersall managed to locate it, though, and threw his hand over top of it. And now we have a face-off coming up to his left with 13:19 to go in period number 2.
Campersall has been on his game so far, keeping Quinnipiac in this. I mean, Niagara has been the better team by far to start this game, with no disrespect intended for anybody, but it's just a fact. And again, the NU is just pressuring and pressuring and pressuring right now. Quinnipiac has got to find an answer right now.
Thomason and Moore battling down low, playing catch with it. Now back to the point, a little bit behind Cook, though, and he has to retreat to center ice. Slides it between his legs to find a teammate. Sneaky little play there to avoid the forechecker. Pass hits a skate, though. Still, they come into the offensive zone as Moore stops just inside the blue line. Loads up that quick snapshot, but a stick gets in that shooting lane. Up and out of play, so we have a stoppage with 12:48 to go in the second period. 2-0 is the lead for Niagara. You're going to get an offensive zone draw coming up here when we get started again.
That's a play where if it goes right, you're the coolest kid on the rink, and if it goes wrong, you are something that's not that. I don't want to say it on the air. That was a nifty little pass there by Cook. He fooled everybody and just left it where it was. Everyone skated by it for his guy to pick it up and go the other way. Cook does not lack confidence, and when it works, it's confidence and not arrogance.
Yeah, it looked very dangerous when he just kind of casually slid it through his legs,
but it worked.
He knew that the Quinnipiac player was not going to be expecting that, and it ended up working out to get his team up ice quickly again.
I wasn't expecting it. I found it hilarious.
They're going to get another offensive zone draw here coming up after that icing call, as we continue to bring you live coverage of the UNYCHL Invitational at Elmira all weekend long here from First Arena. This has been another one of our great broadcasts here that we've been excited to bring you all weekend long. And so far, it's been things going very well for the UNYCHL. Niagara, the UNYCHL team here, has a 2-0 lead, and they already have 6 wins so far this weekend. This could be an opportunity for Russo. Russo's hard snapshot in on goal. Randall making the save on that little half breakaway.
That
Niagara,
was a rut, that thing. You see that puck?
Yeah, I saw it kind of bounce and turn on side. Had a pretty good view of it as it was coming right at our broadcast position.
Thank God there's glass.
I think we would not feel as comfortable here if there wasn't.
I'd embrace it.
I think I would be concerned about our equipment.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be more concerned about our equipment than I would about me as well, but...
Puck right along the blue line could have been called off sides. They managed to keep it in the zone, however. Comes back to the point. Kazakowski's shot through a maze of bodies, ends up hitting one of them and going off the back glass. Now it's going to be Niagara moving it up ice as Matt Riddle cuts through the center of the neutral zone. Loses control of it, and it comes out to Cielo. He's got a man deep
nice
behind
play.
the defense. Wojciechowski knew he was there, though. Got in the way of that pass, made sure it didn't get behind him. Would have been a breakaway opportunity for the Bobcats.
That had to be a skate, not a stick either. If Wojciechowski doesn't kick that down, that is a breakaway.
Into the offensive zone here for Quinnipiac, but it's going to be Stumpo getting to it first. Feeds it along that far wall to Kevin Euler. Euler now with the puck on his stick again, banks it off the boards. Now an opportunity with some numbers. 2-on-1 setting up here. This is Louis Chabot into the offensive zone. His pass hits a defender's skate, and now quickly in the opposite direction, it's Quinnipiac, but that pass just a little bit off the mark. They have the guys open in the neutral zone, and they're just a few steps off with some of those passes, and that's been a big reason why Niagara's enjoyed so much possession here in this game.
Yes, it's not – Niagara's not, like, dominating them. They're making mistakes. They're hurting.
Chance with a loose puck there as it bounced right to a
though.
Niagara player.
And that guy in that.
Campersall has made sure that his team has had an opportunity to stay within shouting distance here in this game as he's made a number of really solid saves. Niagara continues to bring a lot of pressure here in this game with the 2-0 lead. Another pass just out of the reach of the intended target for Quinnipiac. They keep trying a lot of those long passes into the neutral zone. They're open. They're just not really executing very well on them right now.
Do this, D to D. This is what opens everything up. You're a defenseman. You know that as well as anybody.
Also allows a defender to get into that passing lane and get the stick on puck there. Now Quinnipiac trying to get it into the offensive zone, but they're unable to do so. Niagara coming back in the other direction. In that far corner as they try to set something up, but a little bit late getting into the zone was the defenseman Train, so he has to pick it up here in the neutral zone. D-to-D pass, then Stumpo dumps it into the offensive end. Umbro pokes it into the neutral zone. Train going back there for it as we have 9:40 to go here in second period play. 2-0 is the lead for Niagara as they get it up ice. Ethan Knopf getting a deflection on that one to make sure it gets into the offensive zone. But it's going to be Umbro who settles it down there at the bottom of the circle. Surveys the ice and looks to get that long pass into the neutral zone. This time they connect on it. Breakaway to the backhand. Great save by Randall. He doesn't know where it is, though. Picked up by the defenseman Scanlon as he comes in to clear that puck out of danger. A great opportunity with the breakaway by Sean McTavish. Made a great move. Couldn't get it by the netminder Randall, though. A great save to keep this one 2-0. 9:11 to go here in period number 2.
Yeah, that's big right there. You know, Quinnipiac's been barking up that tree all game. They finally connect on that pass. Get a great opportunity. Outstanding move by McTavish right there, but Randall stays right there with him, gets the blocker on him as he goes to his backhand and keeps it out. And then when the puck is sitting there, the back check by the Purple Eagles make sure that the garbage is cleaned up so there's no chance to hack at the puck while the goaltender's down.
Puck comes up the near boards. Played across by Ethan Knopf. Now into the offensive zone. Shot taken by Kroll. Goes off the backboards, and there's a chance for a rebound opportunity there. Campersall doing an excellent job to slide across to make that save. And now we get the convergence of bodies after that scramble for the loose puck.
That'll happen.
A couple of players down on the play, but it appears that...
Campersall's down. He's not moving, Aaron.
Yeah, Campersall is down on his stomach here. That's something to keep an eye on, Sean.
That will be devastating for Quinnipiac if they lose him with how well he's playing today. He's banging his leg on the ground. It's his leg. He's trying to loosen something up. I hope it's just like, they're calling for the training staff.
This is certainly something that Quinnipiac didn't want to see happen in this game, as a big part of what's been happening is Campersall. Okay, he's up to his knees now, so that's a good start. So we're going to have penalties handed out to each side here in that little
that's gonna happen.
Mini melee after the puck was finally frozen.
Knopf went to the goaltender. The Quinnipiac forward cleared him out, and then Knopf brought him to the ground. They're going to get them both, and they're going to offset it to make sure there's no bad blood. Nothing wrong here at all.
So 8:55 now remains here in the second period as a pair of coincidental minors looks like being handed out. And when we get started again, it's going to be 4-on-4 play. As we have a little bit less than 9 minutes to go in the second period. It's a 2-0 lead in favor of the Purple Eagles.
Still a little conversation having right now. We're skating 4-a-side here. So, like I said, I mean, no disrespect to Quinnipiac, but with open ice, I like Niagara over just about anybody.
Well, first opportunity with that open ice comes to Noyes, but he trips on the blue line. It looks maybe a rut caught him there as he gained the zone. Opportunity goes by the wayside for Quinnipiac as they almost had that chance with the numbers.
Yeah, Noyes definitely got on his edges there, and unfortunately he caught a rough spot of the ice, so he was gone.
Had a chance there in front of the net, but a nice back check as it was Thomason coming in from his forward position to make sure he tied up his man in front. Could have been a great opportunity as it was Noyes there in close proximity to the netminder with a good chance. Puck comes across the blue line. Kozakowski eventually finding control of it, but it's taken away by Niagara. Now plenty of room up this side for Cook to move it up ice. Cook across to Brady Knopf. He banks it off the boards to get it into the offensive zone. Minute 12 remaining in 4-on-4 play as it's Moore in that far corner battling against Kozakowski for control. The Quinnipiac player winning that battle, but his pass a little bit off the mark as it hits the skates of Cielo here in the neutral zone.
Oh, yeah!
And two players
First hit, down he
converging
goes.
here as the Quinnipiac player ends up on the wrong side of that contact. But here he is late into the play, fires a good hard wrist shot as Pericaz with the opportunity after getting knocked down in the neutral zone. Let a good hard wrist shot go on net, but Randall makes the stop. Brady Knopf slowly into the offensive zone. Zach Briggs doing a good job of coordinating there to not go off sides.
Oh, man.
Mueller laying a big hit there in the corner to create a free puck.
Niagara's definitely dialing up the physical play right here, and they're winning right now with that. I mean, Quinnipiac bodies are just tumbling right now, and look at this pressure. They don't know what to do right now.
Puck played up ice by Emmons, getting it into the offensive zone, but again, it's going to be Niagara finding possession of it quickly, getting it up to Euler here on the near boards. Euler back to Abbott, and he plays it up this left wing wall. Nobody there. Eventually, Briggs gets there. See whether or not Niagara can get it out. Yeah, Abbott wins a battle for that puck. Gets it up to Euler into the offensive zone. Cuts in towards the slot. Has some room to let that shot go. Just missing the net wide. Not sure if Campersall got a little piece of that as it came in towards the netminder. A little bit of a conversation between Campersall and Euler there as the whistle stops play. Either the net was off on that play or it went up into the protective netting behind the cage. Either way, 6:50 remaining in the period. It's a 2-0 lead for Niagara. They've certainly had control over this contest, Sean, but I'm not sure that they would say that they're comfortable only having a 2-goal lead.
No, nor should they. I mean, Quinnipiac is a strong team right now. I mean, NU has been the better team so far. But Quinnipiac is a nationally respected program for a reason, and a 2-goal lead is nothing they're going to shy away from.
And I think Quinnipiac is starting to at least test some of the perimeter of the defense there for Niagara. They're looking to catch a lot of stretch passes into the neutral zone.
It's there. They haven't hit it yet. They've hit it once.
Hit it once, but I think they're going to keep trying it. The guys are open in the neutral zone. There's no reason to stop trying it. It's just need better execution with it. It could lead to some opportunities.
And if you're NU, I mean, granted, I wouldn't dare a team to do that when the result could be breakaways, but I mean, you got a goose egg on the board. Keep doing what you're doing offensively. But yes, I mean, if one thing NU should just maybe tweak a little bit is, those guys are open. So
puck comes back through the neutral zone into the Niagara end. Foot race for that puck. First one to it is Stumpo. Plays it along to Train. Now Train reversing course on the other side. A couple of players running into each other there on the right side of the cage. Now it's a 3-on-2 setting up here for Niagara. Ethan Knopf with that pass across. It hits a skate and doesn't get to its intended target. And now Noyes with a chance to get it up ice. His pass was too far for his intended target. Now Niagara has possession again. Quickly up to Ethan Knopf and in across the blue line. Scanlon, though, unable to get that pass across. He had a man wide open in front. Matthew Kroll just couldn't get that pass through the defender. Noyes back for Quinnipiac. Tries to get a shot through Train, the defender. Gets it, trickles it in on net. Randall, though, able to hang on to that one, make the save, keep this one a 2-0 game. .554 remaining in the second period. It's a 2-0 lead for Niagara. Have to make a correction here. We've been talking about Randall making good saves, but I had the numbers mixed up in my head. That is not Randall. It is number 30 in this case, Dominic Andrade, making the stops. He's having a solid game, certainly, and certainly wouldn't want to give the credit to the wrong netminder. So it is Andrade there as he has the shot go just wide of the net. Quinnipiac keeping it in. Puck played along behind the net. Foot race forward here on this near wall. Quinnipiac gets to it first, but it's going to be Shabbat moving it up ice to Wojciechowski. Wojciechowski stops in front of the Quinnipiac bench, takes a hit on that far side. A little bit of a follow-up hit that could have been called. Puck comes back into the Quinnipiac zone, and they look to move it up ice. as Umbro stops with it here along the near wall. Gets it into the neutral zone. Maybe some possibility there with some numbers into the offensive end, but a good bit of physicality by Niagara to make sure that that player didn't get free to go chase down that loose puck. Back into the offensive zone. Thierra drops it to Euler.
Oh,
pass
what a
into
play.
the slot. That was a very good look for that trailer, just barely off the mark. 5 minutes now remaining here in second period play. Niagara with the 2-0 lead. Puck here in the Quinnipiac zone as they have a little bit of room to move it up ice. Niagara just drifting back into center ice, setting up a little bit of a neutral zone trap. Puck comes up ice, though, and Quinnipiac gets through that trap and into the offensive zone as Keene drives in towards the net.
All day, that's
gets
a trip.
taken down by his fellow number 4, Wojciechowski, so we have a tripping penalty called.
He knows it,
Both
too.
referees are signaling it, both the front and back official. So with 4:43 to go in the period, another opportunity on the power play for Quinnipiac. See whether or not they can gain some momentum here and maybe get some opportunities to claw back into this game. They've been unable to solve Andrade so far, and we'll see whether or not this man advantage gives them a chance to do a little bit more.
Yeah, and this is the opportunity Quinnipiac needs here, getting late into the second period. You got to think they want to go in, one, get the shutout broken, just get that mental block out of your mind, and then also get it to within one so you can regroup and come out with a plan in the third period.
Quinnipiac winning possession off that face-off. This is Glass in the circle. Gets it down low, but that pass is a little bit off the mark. Noyes, though, tracks it down in the far corner. Now circling up towards the top of the circle. Lets a shot go from the dot. Good save made by Andrade as, again, he makes the stops he's been needing to. Key point there. Kept a rebound from coming out as well. And he gets that stoppage in play with 17 seconds gone in this power play.
Yep, Andre doing a nice job making sure there's no rebound or no loose pucks there, because you definitely don't want to see Quinnipiac getting second chances. Again, great save to hold it and no rebound, because Quinnipiac, they're trying to vulture around that goal crease and try to pick up some garbage.
Yeah, that Quinnipiac player, the center, tied up his opponent there on the draw, and that allowed the other forward to sneak in there and pick up that loose puck. Nice play there by Russo to get that shot away, but again, a good save by Andrade, doing his part to keep this one a 2-0 game. Again, Quinnipiac finding a loose puck after a scrambled draw, and now it's Noyes back here at the left point. Walking across the blue line, takes a shot, but that one's blocked by Cross in the middle of the slot. Luke Cross getting the leg on that one, and certainly in a little bit of discomfort. He gets over to the bench, gets a change, and a fresh penalty killer comes out. Way to sacrifice the body there to get that block. The two number 3s battle for possession over there. Quinnipiac coming out of that tangle with it, but eventually finding control of that one is number 7, Thierra, and he gets that puck cleared the length of the ice. Now just 1:05 remaining on this Quinnipiac power play. Alex Umbro slowly up the right side of the ice. His pass gets knocked down, but it is still possessed by Quinnipiac into the offensive zone. Good little check there. Not a whole lot of force behind it by P.J. Abbott. Just enough to get his man off the puck and give him the opportunity to get that clear. Now 45 seconds remaining on this Niagara penalty kill. Umbro across, and now moving it up ice. This is going to be McTavish. Back to Umbro as he brings it up the far side of the rink and into the offensive zone. Slowly into that far corner, looking for some sort of passing option. Tries to go behind the back to pass it in front. Ends up hitting the back of the net. Just handing possession right over to Niagara, and they get that puck cleared back to center ice. Niagara trying to sneak a change in here. Considine might have an opportunity to get it up ice because of that. His shot ends up being deflected a little bit on its way through and goes just wide. Now a rebound opportunity. Save is made on that shot as it was right in on the netminder Andrade. 2-on-1 battle for a loose puck on the far side with 4 seconds remaining on Wojciechowski's penalty. 2 seconds now remaining in that penalty. He hops out of the box. Zach Briggs rejoins the play, and the teams play 5-on-5. Kozakowski moving it up ice. Connects on one pass to Emmons. Emmons now off the boards, and Quinnipiac moving it through the neutral zone, but the third pass doesn't connect, and Zach Briggs comes away with it. Quickly up ice. Moore there with the opportunity to catch a long stretch pass. Didn't quite settle down it, but he got that puck first in the offensive zone. Couldn't find a trailer, though, as he was looking for somebody coming into the play late. Back into the offensive direction, as is Jonathan Parker getting into the offensive zone for Quinnipiac. Picked up on the far side by Coppola, then fed right through the crease as it was Kevin Keene looking for somebody there on the far side. Just couldn't quite find somebody with that pass, and that allows Scanlon to move it up ice and dump it into the offensive zone for NU. Niagara making a change, and that gives a chance for Quinnipiac to try one of those long stretch passes again. And again, it's about 2 strides out of the reach of the intended target. Diving to try to make that play was Aiden Pasquin, unable to get a hold of that one. That one's going to go for icing, so 1:47 remains in the period. And an offensive zone draw coming up to the blocker hand side of the netminder.
Yeah, so, and this is the witching hour, like we like to discuss this on broadcast at all levels here. 2 minutes to go. NU's got a 2-0 lead, which is, it's very widely recognized as the worst lead in hockey. However, 2 is better than 1, and so if you're NU, you want to get that breathing room, and if you're Quinnipiac, you want to try and close this gap right now, and NU is just all over the front of the net right now. 2
quick shot opportunities there. The second one from Damon Thiera. Saves being made by Campersall. Now an opportunity in the other direction as Quinnipiac had just a touch of zone time there, but good work back-checking to create a loose puck. Thiera's shot fanned on a little bit there. It comes right to Campersall. He covers it up to make sure there's no second opportunity there. Another draw coming up in the Quinnipiac zone as both teams make some changes with 1:22 to go.
Another faceoff coming up to the blocker side of the southpaw goaltender. That is Adam Campersall. And again, another change here by NU, and Quinnipiac looking to get the matchup they want as the home team today. And again, we're going to push forward here in the last minute 20 seconds of the second period.
Niagara with possession down low underneath the goal line. 2 Quinnipiac players coming over there to defend aggressively as it's Alex Umbro making sure he creates a loose puck, but it comes out free to a Niagara player, almost a shot on goal there as Thiera tried to let that one go through a screen. Shabbat back to the point. Schottmer cross-ice pass. PJ Abbott now loads up that slap shot. Looked like it got deflected just wide late. Shot then taken here from the near wall as that was Louis Shabbat letting that one go. Campersall makes another save. Don't exactly have the shots on goal over here, but Campersall's certainly been busy.
Yeah, Campersall's the only reason this game is still within reach right now, and I apologize for how that might sound, but if you've watched this game, I'm not crazy here. I mean, Campersall's been outstanding, and that was a quick whistle. I mean, yes. Quinnipiac had the puck, so it's not a huge deal. It actually might be better for NU that there was a whistle, but man, that was a quick whistle. If there was an NU player near that net, there'd be a huge argument right now.
Yeah, the referee just there on the far corner, unable to see through his obstructed view and get a good clear look at that one. The puck was free, but he didn't have a good view of it, so obviously that's why the play was blown dead. Quinnipiac getting that puck out of the zone with 40 seconds to go in the period. Foot race for it here in the Niagara end.
They've called a lot less than that a penalty, just saying. I know it was incidental, but
it looked like he felt the contact and sold it.
Well,
honestly, that was my view. And he got the penalty call for it.
Did he get it?
Yep. It was the back official that made the call.
Of course it was.
Check from behind, and number 6, Russo, is the one taking the penalty here, so it's going to be an opportunity for Niagara on the power play. I guess that's really what the smart thing to do here is the way they call those plays, the ones around the boards would have a little bit of danger involved in them. You see a lot of quick calls with those penalties, so if you feel that contact from behind, go ahead, throw yourself into the boards, get a penalty, get that power play for your team.
If you can get over your own pride of not wanting to be called a diver and realizing that you can help your team, well, oh, that's hilarious. That's all we've been missing today. Now, they got to do something about that. That's dangerous.
Scanlon's stick caught in the door there. He goes to the bench to get another one, rejoins the play. Niagara doing a good job of making sure they maintain possession while he went and got a new stick. Now they work it around the perimeter. Scanlon with a new stick in his hands, gets it back to the point. Moore with a shot from the far side, and that one is stopped there by Campersall as we have some late hit there right at the horn there behind the net. Looked like Umbro cleaned his man out there just as the horn was going.
That was not smart.
And the penalty was called there. The official, who was about 15 feet away, was quick to throw that arm up into the air. And the penalty call was made, so we're going to see maybe a 2-man advantage here for Niagara for 1:30 in the start of the third period.
I understand finishing your check, but you do it between the horns. The whistle had blown for a good second before Umbro threw his man into the boards. Here's the thing. They've been calling that all game. You have to be smarter.
Yeah.
Like it or not, maybe it's soft, maybe it's not. That has been a consistent whistle this entire game. You got to know it.
Yeah, you look at the penalty that was called 30 seconds before
Same
that.
Play.
Not a whole lot of difference between that one and what happened there. This is just a case of whether or not players can make the needed adjustment to how games are being called. In this case, it's being called fairly tightly. Players just have to make that be able to adjust and make sure that they don't get their team in trouble by taking penalties.
This isn't like the game we called yesterday where we didn't know what the calls were. I mean, you can think whatever you want of how the refs make the calls. They have called it the same way consistently the entire game. I mean, the Quinnipiac head coach continues to argue he's not gonna win, and all you're going to do is make the refs mad and give you less calls.
Well, he's continuing to give his opinion as he leaves the ice.
He's been doing that all weekend, too. I mean, the officiating has been getting that all weekend.
Continues to throw his input into the conversation. They're
gonna hit you with an unsportsmanlike if you continue to bark at the ref off the ice.
And certainly not going to get the benefit of many calls if you end up on the bad
side. These refs aren't having it either.
Yeah.
These refs shoot them off the ice. I kind of like that.
All right, so that's the way that period number 2 will come to a close. It's a 2-0 lead in favor of Niagara, and you're enjoying live coverage on the Nickel City Hockey Network of the UNYCHL Invitational at Elmira, and our coverage is presented by Buffalo Golf and Social, Buffalo's best destination for year-round practice and instruction. Simulators, lessons, leagues, Buffalo Golf and Social is the area's best destination for year-round practice. Also a great selection of beer and wine, so it's the perfect place to enjoy golf with other people who love the game. Locations in downtown Buffalo and in Orchard Park. Book your next event at Buffalo Golf and Social. Our coverage here in Elmira is brought to you by the Elmira Tea and Coffee House. Owned and operated by the local nonprofit group Capabilities, which has empowered Southern Tier residents with disabilities to achieve their career and educational goals for over 60 years. Visit the Elmira Tea and Coffee House, located at 100 West Water Street, just about a block from First Arena. They're brewing up hockey-themed specials all weekend long, open until 4 o'clock today, and they open up tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. The Elmira Tea and Coffee House, a cafe with a cause. This broadcast also brought to you by Militello Realty, Western New York's premier commercial real estate broker. To buy, sell, or lease any office, industrial, real estate, or investment property, trust the unparalleled knowledge and experience of Militello Realty. Online, militello.com. Also by West Her, the largest automotive dealership group in New York State. Selling over 50,000 pre-owned and new cars every year to customers in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse, West Her Auto is dedicated to absolute excellence in customer service. Also by the Hampton Inn Ithaca. For your next trip to the Finger Lakes, the Hampton Inn Ithaca is the smart choice for your stay. Whether you're visiting kids at college, in town for business, or just passing through, the Hampton Inn Ithaca, located at 337 Elmira Road, centrally located between Cornell University and Ithaca College, also not far from downtown Ithaca. Our coverage also brought to you by the Battaglia Marciano Agency, an independent agent for auto, homeowners, commercial, and life insurance. The Battaglia Marciano Agency providing peace of mind for Western New Yorkers for over 35 years. Also by Envious Gameware, designers of custom hockey uniforms, bags, and apparel. Find them online, enviousgameware.com. And by 412 Communications, the new gold standard in digital media solutions. Zamboni is now backing onto the ice, ready to give a resurface to it, and we should be ready to go for third period play in about 15 minutes. Certainly join us for that as we're coming up here in about 15 minutes with the third on the Nickel City Hockey Network as we continue to bring you live coverage of all 12 games here this weekend from Elmira. Thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. We'll see you in about 15 minutes for period number 3.
There's benefits to practicing both indoors and outdoors, but one of the great things about practicing indoors here, with the technology we have, that golf ball, whatever it's doing in here, is exactly what it's doing outside. So using it here allows you the opportunity to change, to play around with your numbers, to see what fits you best and how your eye sees the golf shot, and able to then allow you to have the repetition to do it on the course under pressure, time in and time out. I think one of the best things about having an instructor that you could rely on is you have someone to bounce ideas off of, and sometimes they're there just to remind you that one thing you could have forgot about from a few lessons ago. An instructor's job is to also help keep you on track with the end game, or the end goal I should say, in sight, and slowly but surely getting to that point. I like to empower you to understand everything that's going on, so that when I'm not with you or you are on the golf course, you can know exactly why you had that mishit and be able to then fix it immediately and enjoy the rest of your round, keep your round under control, and continue progressing forward.
And welcome back to First Arena in Elmira as we get set for third period play between Quinnipiac and Niagara. Niagara leading this one by a score of 2-0 after 2 periods of play, and they're going to be starting this third period with a chance to really blow this game open. They have a 2-man advantage for the next minute and 30, so a golden opportunity to really blow this game open from the Niagara Purple Eagles perspective. Thank you so much for joining our coverage here on the Nickel City Hockey Network. I'm Aaron Elpern alongside color commentator Sean McHugh. Jeff Jazarowski, our camera operator today, as Niagara gets things started here with this 5-on-3, but a little bit of wet ice that we saw in the earlier game here on this rink causes a little bit of difficulty there for the zone entry. Ethan Knopf ends up overskating it and then going in off sides with his teammate, so we get a stoppage in play and a face-off right here in the neutral zone just outside the Quinnipiac blue line.
How is water the only thing in this rink that's not frozen? Because it's cold in here.
It honestly, it took about 7 minutes of play in one of the periods in the earlier game for the ice to actually finally freeze here on this surface. It caused all sorts of difficulties in that game. I think 2 goals were scored because of advantages that were gained off the wet ice.
And nothing you can do about it. It just, darn.
Could have maybe delayed the start of the period a little bit, but they continue on here as Cook has it up at the point, gets it to Scanlon, 5-on-3, continuing as Knopf's pass goes right through the crease. Over to the left point, this is Cook setting things up, but the net has come off of its moorings in the meantime. So
of course it does.
So 47 seconds remaining in the first penalty, minute 17 in the second one, as it's a 5-on-3 here for Niagara, but I don't think they're necessarily feeling like they're getting the biggest advantage here with this 2-man advantage because the wet ice kind of ends up acting as a fourth penalty killer for Quinnipiac.
Fourth and fifth, because the penalty killer goes all the way down the ice. I mean, but what are you going to do? I mean, the Quinnipiac also has to deal with it when they're trying to clear the puck, so...
Pass is connected on there along the blue line. Now it comes back out into the slot. Moore with an opportunity. Had 2 shots in on goal. Campersall making the save, though, getting that pad on it to keep it from becoming a 3-0 game. Still 30 seconds remaining in this 2-man advantage as Scanlon carries it through the neutral zone, gaining the blue line, now looking for a pass. Slows it down and drops it back to the point, but Moore was going in the opposite direction. A little bit of a miscommunication, ticking some time away here on this power play. Moore quickly counters, though. Might have caught Quinnipiac napping just a little bit there. Got a good hard shot away. Unfortunately, from his perspective, just couldn't hit the net with it. Moore settles it down here near the point, feeds it across to Scanlon. Now Cook, now in front of the net. One-touch shot there by Moore, just kind of slid off the heel of his stick there. Nice-looking setup there as the passing was very nice there from Niagara. Some more pinpoint passing eventually comes to Scanlon. His shot misses the net. Now an opportunity on that far side, but a good block there as the Quinnipiac defender made sure that he got in the way of that shooting lane, Kevin Keene. Cook walking the blue line now with 13 seconds remaining on the second penalty. Quinnipiac has almost gotten this entire penalty killed off, but a pass in front of the net creates an opportunity for Thomason. Good block again by Quinnipiac as the last 2 seconds tick away on this penalty. Cook walking the blue line, letting a wrist shot go. Good save by Campersall. A couple of bodies were there in front of him, making it a little bit more difficult to track that one. Saw it all the way, though. Managed to hold on and stop play with the save and the hold for the avoidance of a rebound. So 17:56 is what remains in the third period. And it's still a 2-0 lead here for Niagara, but Quinnipiac maybe has a little bit more wind in their sails after killing off that 2-man advantage.
Yeah, they did a great job on that 2-man advantage, on that 2-man power play right there, keeping the game at 2 goals here. Now Quinnipiac's going to try to move up on the offense to get this game, closer and then eventually tied.
Puck here in the Niagara defensive zone as Kevin Euler tries to settle it down. It comes back to the defenseman Blake Train. He goes D-to-D with Stumpo and now up ice in through the neutral zone. This is Thierra. Thierra across the blue line, but it was a little bit of not the cleanest of entries as a little bit of coordination on that play. Kevin Euler going in just barely offsides, despite the fact that the Niagara fans that are right there along the blue line with a pretty good look at it, they certainly disagreed with the call that the linesman made. The linesman, though, is the only one with the whistle, so he gets the opportunity to make that call.
I mean, the gripe is legitimate for sure. I thought that was awfully close. I thought he was on, but the problem is you can't challenge offsides. Oh, God, don't even make me think about adding that to hockey. But anyway. Oh, Train just buries a guy.
Yeah, Russo tried to throw a check, and Blake Train gave him the reverse check there in the neutral zone.
His last name is Train. You shouldn't run at that guy.
Yeah, but you don't see it on the front of the jersey, so you don't have that warning.
Look at him. He's massive. He's a Train.
quick shot there from Louis Chabot as he gains the blue line and fires it in on Campersall. Another good save by the Quinnipiac goaltender. He has been very solid here in this game, doing a good job of making sure his team stays in it, despite the fact that Niagara has had a lot of pressure in his zone and a lot of shots in on goal.
Yeah, I mean, Niagara's throwing everything but the kitchen sink at him, and Campersall has done a great job to this point. Quinnipiac, I mean, his teammates have to help him out here. He needs goal support at some point.
Noise into the offensive zone. He's the leading scorer for this team, trying to get his team back into it. Nice hard wrist shot there. Great save by Dominic Andrade, though, with the right arm, keeping that one out of the net. And now it's kept in here at the blue line, leaving his feet to make sure that puck stays in the offensive zone was Kozakowski. As the puck comes up the far wall and into the neutral zone, where it's going to be Chabot picking it up. Drops a pass on to Thiera. Thiera takes a hard shot, but that one's blocked on its way through. Seems to be a piece of equipment loose to the right of the Quinnipiac cage, and a little bit of confusion of some people on the ice weren't sure which the puck was and which the piece of Campersall's equipment was on the ice. I think he's got it sorted out now as the puck is back in the Niagara zone, connecting on a couple of passes, and now Chabot bringing it through that neutral zone, dumps it all the way in on goal. Campersall sees cross coming in the near vicinity, decides to just cover that one up, and we'll have a whistle now and a face-off coming up inside the Quinnipiac zone with 16:24 remaining here in this period.
Yeah, and NU is going to be just fine with this. They're just getting the puck down into the Quinnipiac defensive zone, and they're keeping it there for the most part. Granted, you did see the leading scorer for Quinnipiac, Jacob Noyes, hit the line with speed, put a great shot on that. Really nice save there by the goaltender, Andrade. But again, if you're Niagara, play as much. Oh, that's unfortunate. In the other rink, that's a great play.
Yeah, they were trying for that long aerial stretch pass there, but not enough clearance there in the area of the roof in order to make that one happen. As Sean said, do that on the big rink, you could have thrown it another 40 feet in the air and gotten away with it.
Do it on a big rink, and you can let that thing go with a 60-degree, and you're probably still not going to touch the board.
Quinnipiac now having to defend a little bit as Cook's shot comes in from the far point. Campersall tracking that one nicely, even though it came in pretty quickly as it came back to Cook at the point. Campersall again making a save, and pretty much leading his team here in this contest, Sean. He is basically the reason why this is a 2-goal game. It could easily be one of those games that is already out of hand, but he's giving his team an opportunity. If they can just catch a bounce right now, get a shot past Andrade, this could be a completely different game here in an instant, because then you could see a frustrated Niagara team because they're not ahead by as much as they think they should be, despite the way that they've been dominating.
There's that opportunity in front,
but Andrade makes the big stop there to keep that one from getting in. It looked like there was enough of an angle to get that shot past him there on that far side, but Kevin Keane just not able to outmuscle the netminder and get that one past the left pad of Andrade. Excellent work there in net for the Niagara netminder.
And if you're Quinnipiac, that's exactly what you have to do. You need to get a goal. You need to get a bounce. Just get the puck to the high-danger area and let nature run its course. But Andre brought his game today, and he goes post to post and makes a great save again.
Cook finding control of the puck below his goal line, goes D to his defensive partner, Knopf. Knopf's pass, though, hits a body on its way through. Eventually, it gets out into the neutral zone. Sent right back into Niagara territory, though, by the captain, Justin Lasella. Cook, though, finds control and pretty slickly moves it out of the defensive zone.
They waved that off, though.
Yeah, no icing on that play, despite the fact that it kind of looked like it was.
Well, no one's
Not
arguing,
that it really matters here, as a pass is intercepted there in the neutral zone. Shot right in on goal by Moore. Stick and pad save made there by Campersall, but Niagara keeps it moving here in the offensive zone. Moore looking for Briggs in the slot, just couldn't quite get it to him. Briggs has it there in the slot, however, in the aftermath. Tried to feed it along to Thomason, but a good play by Lasella to make sure that puck got clear to the zone. Puck in front of the Niagara bench as it's kept in there just inside the point. Shot right in on goal. Save made by Andrade. Now another shot coming in from the point. Andrade makes the first save. There's a rebound opportunity. Backhand goes right into the stomach of the netminder as Nick Emmons with the chance in tight. Andrade has been tested a little bit more often in the second half of this game, but he has certainly upped his game as the challenge has increased.
Yep, and Andre, this is what you need. You know, you're not getting the goal scoring that you're used to or maybe should have because you're running into a hot goaltender on the other side. Andre, so far, has done a great job in preventing just the dumb bounce or the unlucky break that leads to momentum. He's going to get tested again, and there he is.
Glass with the shot in on goal. The rebound is there.
It's good.
Cleared off to the side.
Wow.
Loose puck. Eventually, Moore gets it out of that dangerous area. Fed up this near boards. Thomason can't get it out of his zone. He's going to have to rely on his defenseman to help him out a little bit. Thomason eventually retreats and makes sure he gets that one to Stumpo, and now they go D to D behind the net. That pass was beyond its intended target. Thomason, though, chases it down and gets it through the neutral zone. Heading back into his own zone to pick this one up and look to start the breakout is Aiden McGinn. McGinn looking for a pass there into the neutral zone. Connects with Noyes. Noyes tries to sidestep one Purple Eagle, but it's going to be taken away by Moore into the offensive zone. Hard snapshot low in on the netminder, up and out of play. 14:05 now remains here in the third period. And it is Niagara with the 2-0 lead. They had a goal in the first and a goal in the second. And they've been doing a good job of making sure that they continue to generate offensive opportunities for themselves. Unfortunately, from their perspective, they've run into a pretty hot goaltender as Adam Campersall has been just shy of standing on his head here in this game, certainly playing excellent in between the pipes.
Yeah, Campersall has been outstanding today. We've said that multiple times. I mean, NU could have put this thing away about 5 or 6 times. Campersall standing on his head, but NU's getting goaltender from their guy as well to keep their lead.
Coppola getting it deep into the offensive zone. Keene is the first one to it there, winning that foot race to negate the icing. Second Quinnipiac player joins the forecheck battle, but Niagara coming out of there with it as Abbott makes that cross-ice pass to Scanlon. Scanlon into the offensive zone, takes a big hit and loses control of it. Sends it down here into this near corner where it's Kroll with the puck on his stick. Ethan Knopf down low. Opportunity for Abbott in tight. Got that shot away, and now he gets tackled as he's trying to dig that rebound free.
Temper starting to flare a little bit, protecting the goaltender right there. NU's trying to get the dagger and put this thing away. And Quinnipiac is trying to stay on top of this. And the reason they've been able to stay in this is their goaltender, so it's no surprise at all to see that they're going to protect their goaltender. Did they call penalties?
No. There's a little bit of a discussion, though. Actually, they're having a little bit more debate here in the goal crease. I don't think any calls are being made from that.
They wouldn't be letting anybody get off the ice if they're about to call a penalty.
So the faceoff is going to stay here in the Quinnipiac defensive zone. On for the draw, it's going to be Damon Thierra for Niagara. And squaring off against Francesco Coppola. Thierra winning that draw. Quick shot coming in from Shabbat. Save is made by Campersall. Not sure he tracked the rebound perfectly the entire time. And now the play gets away from him a little bit as the cross-ice pass is made. And Kevin Euler wide open on the back door. Tucks that one into the empty net. It's now 3-0 Niagara as they have finally gotten a little bit of separation here in this one.
And you can see almost like relief coming over the NU bench. Not that they're saying the game is over. They're not doing that. It's just that almost like, when a player in a cold streak finally gets one, they kind of look up to the sky to almost say, like, thank you, Lord, for finally putting one in. NU got that. Let's see if Quinnipiac continues to be aggressive or if that was what took the wind out of the sails.
Second goal of the game for the Columbus Maverick product, Kevin Euler. It's a 3-0 lead now for the Niagara Purple Eagles as they look to pick up their second win here of the showcase weekend. Puck comes through the neutral zone. Quinnipiac getting it into the offensive zone as it bounces over the stick of Brady Knopf. Not a whole lot of time there in the offensive zone as now this is Thierra up ice for Niagara. Tries to get around the defenseman. Nice play there on that one by was that Umbro or DeTulio? Oh, yeah, it was Umbro 14, not 24. As that looked like the Niagara player had an awful lot of steam coming into the offensive zone. It looked like it was a good setup. Didn't even get a shot away on it. Now it's going to be Quinnipiac trying to find the answer. A big hit there along the far boards.
He's done that today. I don't know why he thinks he's not getting called.
That one was at least from – it was the front of the player that he hit. He didn't hit him from behind.
Nowhere near the puck, and that was charging. He took 2 or 3 strides and ran him into the boards.
So we're going to have a penalty called here against Quinnipiac, and that just makes things all that much more difficult to come back in this game. Niagara has done a really good job of controlling the pace of play and how this game has gone from start to finish. And it's the Quinnipiac goaltender that's really kept this one within shouting distance for as long as it has been. Campersall, though, has been tested an awful lot. They finally got one past him here in this third period. Kevin Euler's second of the game. And now they're going to have a power play here. Will the Niagara Purple Eagles, as taking that penalty was number 9, Nick Emmons.
Is that his third penalty of the game? It's at least a second.
It might be. I'll have to check on that to determine. Either way, it's another 2-minute advantage here on the play and another chance for Niagara to really put this one out of reach. As that's the second penalty that Emmons has taken. He took one in the second period. As now this is the second one. This could be a chance here short-handed as Noyes again. He's been creating a lot through that neutral zone. That time he just couldn't get free of that last layer of defense for Niagara.
Bye.
Ethan Knopf with a nice little sidestep to get away from one man. Now he carries it in across the blue line. Stops as he drops a pass off to Kroll. Now a pass into the
ridiculous. And that's what they don't call? Wow, okay.
Puck here along the near side. Ethan Knopf picking it up, and the power play continues. That's going to be another penalty called there as Noyes ran his man Kroll over just along the blue line.
That's just beyond silly if you're Noyes. You are the team's leading scorer, and you're down, and you're running dudes. That's just not – I don't care if you're mad about a blown call, man. If there's any chance of Quinnipiac coming back, their leading scorer taking a dumb penalty like that after he towed the line 5 seconds ago is not a good thing to do. And they're going to continue to bark at the refs right now. He got away with it one time. You're not going to get away with it twice. Then you're going to stare the guy down while you're down 3-0, man. That's just not smart hockey. You got a letter on your chest, and I'm not understanding why if that's how you're going to play the game. Game's not over yet. You can't be doing that.
Minute 24 now of 5-on-3 here for Niagara. Opportunity to really put this one out of reach. They've certainly been in control of this one from the start. The Quinnipiac goaltender, Adam Campersall, has been a big reason why this is still a close game. This could be a chance to make it no longer a close game for Niagara.
Yeah, Niagara has an opportunity to put this away. And the thing is, all Quinnipiac has done is now NU is going to stay pedal to the metal the rest of the game.
Pass comes in front. Opportunity. Great save. Campersall, as he is now absolutely standing on his head. That one looked like it was a surefire goal. But Campersall sliding across and making the stop, keeping this one a 3-0 game. Still plenty of time, though, left for the 5-on-3. 1:05 remaining in that first penalty. Scrambled face-off, and it's going to be Quinnipiac's Umbro eventually getting possession of it. Has a little bit of room to skate that one up ice into the offensive zone.
Oh, great defense by Cook.
Yeah, Cook made sure that there was no move around him, and now he sets up his team maybe with some numbers in the offensive zone. Moore trying to circle the net and get that pass out in front. Hit a Quinnipiac stick, though, and didn't get there, but it comes to the point to Cook. Cook drops that one off to Scanlon, looking for a pass down low. Euler unable to handle it, but it's picked up by Thomason in behind the net. Now this is Scanlon here at the near point. Cross-ice pass slowly over to Cook. 30 seconds remaining on the two-man advantage as it comes out to this near board. Scanlon winning that foot race, making sure it stays in the offensive zone. Circling back, though, to pick that one up. Make sure that one got sent the leg to the ice is Sean McTavish. Good work there, doing a little bit of that penalty killing there as his team was down 2 men. Cook again starting the breakout as he carries it up the left side from around his net. Gets it up to Shabbat. Shabbat into the offensive zone. Slowly here along the near wall. Stops and feeds a pass along to Kroll. Kroll down low. Ethan Knopf. That pass back to Briggs was a little bit offline as the first penalty expires. Train, though, with an opportunity to let that shot go. Good wrist shot in on goal. Campersall way out on top of his crease, cutting off any sort of angle on that shot. Swallows it up in the midsection and gets a whistle. 28 seconds now remaining on the second penalty there to Quinnipiac, and they've almost killed off both of these minor infractions.
Great job by Quinnipiac, killing this penalty because the game could have been blown out right there. I mean, there's still 20 seconds left, but a great job on the kill and staying focused, and also not losing your head with the frustration hits, which with 10 minutes left after the game it's been for Quinnipiac. Teams, that does happen in games like this.
11 seconds left on the power play as Train unloads a shot in on goal. Save is made. A second save is made. Another rebound is there. Loose puck is free. Eventually a Quinnipiac player, Russo, finds it and gets that much-needed clear, killing off the last part of this penalty.
Great job, especially when an important player put their team in a tough spot right there. Really good job by everybody else to come to the rescue and keep this game still not out of reach yet.
Body contact here right in front of our broadcast position, allowing Quinnipiac to get that puck into the offensive zone. Russo putting some pressure on Kroll behind the net. Puck goes off the back of the net, and then Kroll plays it up ice. And we have a penalty being called by the back official. This is a slashing call that has been made.
I didn't see it.
And usually with the back official, it's something that we didn't see because we're following the puck. Not sure who the call is going against there, as players from neither team are going to the box.
Oh, my goodness. Where have we seen this?
Eventually they figured out who took the penalty. It's Blake Train getting the slashing call.
Again?
So a opportunity now for Quinnipiac with the power play. And they're down 3-0, so obviously this is a big chance and a big opportunity with 9 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the period.
This is the door Quinnipiac needed to have opened right now, as NU makes a mistake, and Quinnipiac has an opportunity here with a big shot here. And again, the goaltender, Dominic Andre, continues to make the saves, and more post whistle around the net. Scrums and extracurriculars, I think that's about to get more intense before it goes away as this game winds down.
Sorting through some video issues on our end, I think the temperature of the rink is certainly playing some havoc with our equipment here.
I can't.
Hopefully we get that. Hopefully we get that sorted out here before too much more of this third period goes by. And there we go. We've gotten things sorted out here as the power play now continues with 1:47 remaining in the man advantage for Quinnipiac. Coming up on 9 minutes left in the period. And what is this whistle for? This was an inadvertent icing call. Niagara is down a man, so they're allowed to ice it, but they got called for the icing here accidentally, so that faceoff will come back right to center ice, and we'll continue with a little bit more 9 minutes to go in the period.
Again, we're getting into it. Quinnipiac really needs to get to work on this power play. It starts with one here, and if you get one with some time left, you can work on getting two here. But Quinnipiac, they have an opportunity right now, but they're continuing to have to play from behind their own net and go 200 feet with 9 minutes left in a 3-goal game. That's exactly what NU wants Quinnipiac to have to do.
Quinnipiac unable to connect on that first pass there in the neutral zone. Emmons does manage to get it into the offensive zone. Now it's a battle for a loose puck along the near wall. Comes out towards the boards, and now a cross-ice pass. Opportunity to walk in and let that shot go, but missing the net on that play was McTavish. Back down into the Quinnipiac zone as we have 1:10 remaining on this power play for the Bobcats. Picking it up and starting it up ice is Kozakowski. A couple of passes connected on, and now it's Considine into the offensive zone. Stops just inside the blue line, now looking for a pass. Starts up again and then loses control of it here along the near boards, but he maintains it and gets it back to the point. Kozakowski shot through traffic. Looked like it caught a little bit of P.J. Abbott's backside there and ended up going wide of the net. Emmons trying to dig that puck out from along the back wall. Feeds that one along and now has it back just inside the goal line. His pass is intercepted, though, and now Thomason has a chance to skate that one up ice. Decides just to fire it all the way in on the Quinnipiac goaltender. Now just 30 seconds remaining on this Quinnipiac power play. Zach Briggs creating a turnover there and a golden opportunity in tight. Just couldn't get that shot on net as it went up and over that crossbar. Still keeping it moving here in the offensive zone as Niagara continues to kill off time on this penalty.
He's just beasting all of them right now.
Ends up getting knocked down on the play as that's Ethan Knopf doing some excellent work on the penalty kill, and you hear it from his bench there as they tap the boards to show their appreciation. Just 8 seconds left on that penalty to Blake Train, and Niagara has almost killed off this entire minor penalty. A key point in maintaining this 3-0 lead.
And again, just playing in the Quinnipiac end is exactly what NU is trying to do right now. And they're going to be just continuing to try to just milk the clock and get everything down to nothing, because eventually Quinnipiac's just going to run out of time.
We have an interference call being made here. It is the back official again.
This guy just loves calling penalties. He's trying to set the Guinness Book of World Records for amount of feet between the play he calls his penalties on.
Interference to Alex Umbro from Quinnipiac. Number 14 heads to the penalty box, so just 3 seconds of 4-on-4 play coming up. Then it's going to be almost an entire 2 minutes of a power play for Niagara, and they're starting to get a little bit of assistance from Quinnipiac in terms of maintaining their lead. Quinnipiac with a little bit of a parade to the penalty box here in the last couple of minutes. They got a power play of their own in that period of time, but 3 penalties of their own, making it all that much more difficult to come back from a 3-goal deficit.
No, and you got to think one more goal probably solves it for Niagara. I mean, a lot can happen in college hockey, but the way the goaltender for NU is playing and the way they're just holding possession the entire game, I mean, Quinnipiac, they got to score. They got to think shorthanded goal.
Train walking in from his point position. Gets that pass to Knopf, but a good play by Noyes to get it away from him. Noyes might have a step now. Noyes into the offensive zone. Forehand shot saved by Andrade as he made a great stop there in a second one as there was a rebound opportunity from along the goal line.
Man, Noyes is just trying to get himself tossed out of this game. Anytime he gets near somebody, he hits him in the back.
Ethan Knopf carries it into the offensive zone. Back to the midpoint to Train. Train along to Briggs. He tries to get that shot through, but a nice block as getting in the way of that one was number 19, Zach Glass. Now here comes Noyes again. Zone. He gets laid out by Train as Train times that hit perfectly. judging that play exactly right.
I like
and
that.
laying Noyes out there. Didn't knock him down, but it was a big collision right in the neutral zone, and certainly the type of hit that you want to have to knock a man off of a puck as he's trying to go in for a scoring opportunity.
That had to happen. Noyes was taking runs at everybody. Someone had to get him back, and Train got him right there. That was a good response by NU because Noyes has been throwing the body around, trying to play physically to get Quinnipiac sparked. Good to see NU hit back right there and not taking that.
Cook using his skating ability here to get loose and into the offensive zone. Ends up losing his feet, though, just inside the blue line. Now he has to come back and play some defense as Keene brings it in. Feeds that pass in front. He had a streaking winger going for that back post. McTavish getting that redirection, but another great save by Andre. Niagara back into the offensive zone as Thomason gets it deep. Euler getting it back to Thomason now in the far corner as he tries to get that pass out in front. Good defense there by Kevin Keene, making sure that he got a stick on that one and kept that pass from connecting here on the far side. That would have been a glorious scoring opportunity. 6 seconds now remaining in the Quinnipiac penalty to Alex Umbro, and he's about to step out of the penalty box as Cook carries it up out of his zone. That pass doesn't connect. A little bit of difficulty handling it by Euler, but he manages to take the puck back and now carries it into the offensive zone. Cuts in towards the slot, takes a hard wrist shot. Can't keep it low enough to get it on net, though, as Euler was looking for his third of the game. Players running into each other here in the neutral zone as Euler finds possession of it again. Drops it back to the defenseman P.J. Abbott. And now up the near wall, but that pass is too far for its intended target, and Considine takes it away. Kozakowski now starting the breakout. Pass is connected out on the far side and dumped into the offensive zone by Cielo. First one to it, though, is a Niagara player. Now Wojciechowski plays it up that far wall and gets it into center ice. But Umbro looking to bring it right back in. Umbro losing control of it. That allows Niagara to play it up ice. A little bit of a foot race for it here in the neutral zone, but it's going to be Quinnipiac taking that one away. Coming back into the offensive zone. Getting only a step inside the zone where P.J. Abbott has a nice little bit of body checking there. Not a huge hit, but very effective. One of those ones that allows his team to find possession and go back in the opposite direction.
Yeah, and again, NU is just doing it. They are playing protect the lead to a T right now. Everything is in front of them. And the thing is, Quinnipiac's trying to play physical right now because that's a style of play they're using, and NU is just welcoming it and forcing them out of position at times.
Puck is dumped into the offensive zone for Quinnipiac. Not a whole lot going on in terms of forecheck pressure. This is Wojciechowski carrying it out from behind his own net. Long pass there through the neutral zone, too far for Riddle, but no icing on this play as Riddle's the first one to it in the offensive end. Takes a bump from Lasella behind the net, and Kroll comes in to try to pick up that loose puck from puck support. Picked up and carried up ice by Jonathan Parker now. Parker trying to get around Abbott, ends up stepping into the check, tries to give it back to him a little bit as it's in behind the Niagara goal. Wojciechowski picking it up, moving it along that far wall. Ethan Knopf making sure it gets into center ice, and now Niagara just slowing things down and going D to D in behind their goal, as they're just essentially, as you said, they're playing the hockey version of the 4-minute offense in football.
Oh yeah, their running back is averaging 6 yards a carry, and their line of scrimmage is moving, and that's about all I got for football today. But again, absolute perfection by NU right now. It's all in front of them, and then as soon as the puck is off a Quinnipiac player's stick, it's out.
Yeah, and they're making sure that they're taking care of their own zone first. All 5 players back defensively every single time Quinnipiac enters the offensive zone. It's exactly what you need to do to protect the lead. Getting it into the offensive zone like this helps as well. Ethan Knopf pinning it to the boards there, and it's going to take 2 Quinnipiac players to dislodge it.
Look at Ethan Knopf right now. He is an absolute tank right there. There's 2 guys trying to shove him.
It's a third one that comes in that finally gets it free.
It took 3 of them in 45 seconds to get the puck off his stick, and he's half their size. That's awesome.
Strength on his skates, though, is a big thing as we have a hit right in front of us. Kevin Euler knocking his man into the glass as we approach 2:15 to play in regulation. Niagara with the 3-0 lead. Kevin Euler into the offensive zone trying to add to it. Shot towards the glove hand side, but a good save by Campersall as Kevin Euler looking for his third of the game. Now we have a little bit of a tangle there as it was the Quinnipiac player kind of skating into Euler on that play Euler was having a little bit of a conversation with somebody in front of the net. I don't just think that was completely necessary, but now a conversation between Euler and the Quinnipiac bench.
I'm starting to gather that this is just how it's going to be for the rest of the game. Quinnipiac is very frustrated, and they're trying to play physical. They started this a little bit yesterday, too. Tried to, use physicality to turn it in their favor. That can work sometimes, but the problem is there's a fine line to walk, and if you cross that line, all you're going to do is take yourself out of the game.
They've already taken a couple of penalties because of that physical play here in this period, and Niagara really hasn't let their foot off the gas one bit here, and they keep on doing a good job of maintaining possession of the puck, and then when they need to, playing defense.
Niagara has been able to counter the way Quinnipiac is trying to play. They try to make you think, and they try to make you react into mistakes, and Niagara is just waiting Quinnipiac out and forcing them into mistakes. And that's coaching as well as players just knowing what's going on, which is, it's impressive to see.
Puck dumped into the offensive zone by Cross as Niagara tries to put a little bit more pressure on here in the offensive end. Good way to protect a 3-goal lead is to keep the opposite team as far away from your net as possible. They've done a good job of that here. That one could have gone for icing, but it gets waved off as Blake Train goes back there for it. Getting some help from Riddle as Train now has it, and only some light pressure coming in from Quinnipiac. Cristaldi on the near wall banks it off of the boards, and Cross unable to get a hold of it before it's dumped back into the offensive zone by Kozakowski. Again, though, it's Niagara quickly to it, getting to it first before the forecheck does, getting it up ice and creating some opportunities. Cristaldi gets knocked down, but he gets it ahead to Riddle. Riddle with the shot in on goal, save made by Campersall. Minute 4 now remains as we wait and see whether or not there's any post-whistle conversation. Thought that there might have been some like that previous stoppage that we saw, Sean, but nothing really coming of that. Minute 4 now remains. Face-off coming up to the right of Campersall.
Yeah, minute left. It's now we're at the just make sure the teams get out of here the right way. It's been physical. Just don't want to see anything unnecessary happen after this game.
PJ Abbott keeping it in here at the point. Tries to get that shot through a screen. It changed directions. I don't know if Campersall got a glove on it after it changed directions and was slowly going toward that far post. It did barely go just wide. Now a shot is off of a stick and up into the protective netting, so another stoppage with 47 seconds now remaining here in regulation. And it looks like Niagara is putting the finishing touches on what will be the 7th win for the UNYCHL this weekend in this showcase.
7 out of 8 ain't bad.
7 out of 8 is certainly not bad. The only win so far for the Empire Conference coming over on the main rink earlier on, in actually just finishing up about 20 minutes ago, as it was Fairfield beating Cornell on the main rink. That being the first win for the Empire Conference here in this event so far.
Good win.
It certainly is a good win. That Cornell team is certainly a strong unit. So Fairfield showing that they certainly belong here in this event with some of the top teams in the CHF.
Not that there was any doubt.
No. And they battled this Niagara team hard yesterday, a 3-2 one-goal game. So certainly they're showing well here during this event as they get one more game to play here tomorrow, as do both of these teams, as we only have about 8 seconds remaining here in regulation. Seems that this one is going to end without too much dramatics, as the shot is taken from the neutral zone in on goal and then sent the length of the ice to end things here from rink 2. And it's a 3-0 shutout victory for the Niagara Purple Eagles. The netminder Dominic Andrade getting the shutout net here.
Absolutely, and he was incredible. Even as Quinnipiac started to add pressure and get shots, he made the saves. It was a bit of a goaltending duel as well. Campersall played out of his mind. The goaltenders were the stars today, but NU's big guns got it done when it mattered. They got the goals. They made less mistakes, especially on the mental level. And you check all the boxes for how you beat a team, a good team like Quinnipiac, and you came in and did it literally to perfection. Sean Casilio and his Purple Eagles are well on their way to building on what was a very impressive inaugural season. And they come to the showcase with some of the top teams in the country, and they show why they are among the best again.
Win number 11 on the season for the Niagara University Purple Eagles. They are 11-1-2 on the year. One more game for them here in Elmira tomorrow. We're going to take a quick break, then we will come back with the 3 stars of the game brought to you by West Herr Auto. Stay with us as we select the game's 3 stars coming up in just a moment.
People ask, what is Buffalo Golf and Social? Buffalo Golf and Social is anything you want it to be. It can be the best instruction. It can be a vibe. It can be a hangout with your friends, running a simulator for 4 hours, playing your own playlist, and putting a game up on the TV. We are about everything and anything pertaining to golf. And most importantly, we are trying to build a community of players and a community of people who love and are dedicated to the game.
And we're back here at First Arena in Elmira as we're ready to select the West Her 3 stars of the game. And the first star, Sean, certainly an easy selection. The netminder for Niagara, Dominic Andrade. He was excellent, earning this shutout victory.
Absolutely. Perfection earns the first star of the game, and he was outstanding. And even still, the game was never out of reach. Anytime Quinnipiac was able to get close, they started to threaten. They got the big save, and they got the save that shows the difference between a good and a great goaltender. And Dominic was a great goaltender today, making the save that his team needed to keep the lead and eventually put it out of reach.
And it was really the type of game where he was a key part of it for the win for Niagara, because at any point Quinnipiac was generating enough offensive zone opportunities that they could have snuck one in and really gotten right back into this game, the type of game where Niagara then could have ended up feeling frustrated by not getting enough past Campersall in this one. So certainly kudos to Dominic Andrade for the way he played with his team protecting a lead. He was excellent. Obviously a shutout is a great result, so fine play from him. Second star, Kevin Euler, 2 goals on the game, as he did an excellent job of providing offense for his team throughout, not just the 2 goals that he scored. And also Adam Campersall from Quinnipiac, he was excellent in net. The only reason why this wasn't a 6 or 7 goal loss was because Campersall was standing on his head throughout. So certainly hats off to the Quinnipiac netminder, both netminders earning part of our 3-star selections here tonight, as we enjoyed another game broadcast here from First Arena in Elmira. And we've certainly been enjoying this showcase event here from Elmira, New York, as we bring you live coverage of the UNYCHL Invitational at Elmira. And our coverage is presented by Buffalo Golf and Social, Western New York's premier golf destination for practice and instruction. Also, our supporters here in Elmira include the Elmira Tea and Coffee House, a coffee house with a cause. And we're certainly happy to have their support here this weekend. Make sure you stop by tomorrow morning before coming to the rink. They're just a block away from First Arena, and they have hockey-themed specials all weekend long. They open up at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. The Elmira Tea and Coffee House is owned and operated by the local nonprofit group Capabilities, which has been empowering Southern Tier residents with disabilities to achieve their career and educational goals for over 60 years. Certainly big supporters of what they do at the Elmira Tea and Coffee House. Visit them for your morning cup of joe tomorrow before coming to the rink. This broadcast also brought to you by Militello Realty, Western New York's premier commercial real estate broker. To buy, sell, or lease any office, industrial, retail, or investment property, be sure to trust the unparalleled knowledge and experience of Militello Realty. Online, militello.com. Also, our supporters include West Her Auto, the largest automotive dealership group in New York State, selling over 50,000 pre-owned and new cars every year to customers in Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. West Her Auto is dedicated to absolute excellence in customer service. Our supporters also include the Hampton Inn Ithaca. For your next trip to the Finger Lakes, the Hampton Inn Ithaca is the smart choice for your stay. Whether you're visiting kids at college, in town for business, or just passing through, 337 Elmira Road, centrally located between Cornell University and Ithaca College, also not far from downtown Ithaca. Contact the Hampton Inn Ithaca, 607-277-5500. Supporters also include the Battaglia Marciano Agency, an independent agent for auto, homeowners, commercial, and life insurance. The Battaglia Marciano Agency has been providing peace of mind for Western New Yorkers for over 35 years. Also by the Envious Gameware, designers of custom hockey uniforms, bags, and apparel. You can find them online, enviousgameware.com. And by 412 Communications, the new gold standard in digital media solutions. And you can find them online, 412communications.com. Our final score here from Rink 2 at First Arena is 3-0 in favor of the Niagara Purple Eagles. It is win number 2 on the showcase weekend for Niagara and win number 7 for the UNYCHL. They take a 7-1 record into tomorrow's action. We'll have 4 more live broadcasts from you from the Nickel City Hockey Network right here from First Arena in Elmira. Be sure to join us for tomorrow's action, but that should just about wrap things up here from First Arena in Elmira on Rink 2. Niagara with the 3-0 win. For color commentator Sean McHugh, camera operator Jeff Jazarowski, my name's Aaron Elpern. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.